So in this video, we're going to talk about self-presentation. And self-presentation is basically our way of trying to control how other people see us. It's a behavior and action that is done with the intention of trying to influence how someone sees us. And generally, we want people to look at us favorably. And that might differ based on the situation we find ourselves in or the person that we're trying to influence. And so we're going to talk in this video about our social roles and how they influence this self-presentation behavior, as well as our social norms and how they influence behaviors. We'll also talk a little bit about social media. And then linked on the Canvas page will be a separate video on the Stanford prison study. So social norms are rules that regulate our life. This includes social conventions, explicit laws, and cultural standards that are implicit, things that are maybe not spoken but are just understood. In other words, they are things that govern our behaviors. They tell us how to act in a specific situation. Every society has norms, some cross cultural boundaries, and others hold true across a variety of different social contexts, and others differ depending on the social and cultural context. For example, now it's okay to walk around your bathroom or maybe even your own house naked, but it's not okay to go walk around your neighborhood naked or be on campus without your clothes on. And in fact, you could actually get arrested for it. However, if you're in the south of France, it's okay to walk around the beach nude. Society also has social roles. So these norms also regulate our social roles. So roles are a given social position that's governed by a set of norms for proper behavior. Every society has these social roles, and we can play a variety of different social roles. For example, I'm a professor. I'm also a mother. I'm also a daughter. I'm also a wife. I'm also a friend. So there's a variety of different social roles that we can play. And again, those roles are going to be governed by norms for the proper behavior in that set of situation. Now, these roles might differ depending on culture, depending on family norms. Sometimes social roles might seem the same for different people, and sometimes they might seem very different. These roles, some of them may be the same throughout time, and others change a lot over time. They change as society changes. So gender roles govern the proper behavior for men and women. But those have obviously changed and evolved quite a bit in the past century. If you just think about where women were 100 years ago, very few got a college education. And today, more women are going to college than men. Women weren't even allowed to vote back in the beginning of the 20th century. We weren't even allowed to have our own credit cards until 50 years ago. And now, we have a vice president who's female. You think traditionally women stayed home and raised the family, but now it's not uncommon to have both the husband and the wife working, for women to sometimes make more money than the husband, and sometimes even the husband to stay home with the children. So families also have roles. There's a parent, there's a child, a husband, a wife, and these differ not only depending on social and cultural context, but within a society or culture, they could differ for each family. But you still have a role to play, and you know based on the norms of that situation what role you should play. An example of how family roles might differ from culture to culture is how we care for the elderly and our grandparents or our aging parents. So these days in America, people grow up, they go away to college, they move across the country. They often don't live in the same city or state as their parents and their grandparents. We often feel that it's up to those individuals that are aging to save and plan for their own retirement. However, in other countries that are more collectivist, for example, China, it's expected that as the parents get older, the children will be there to care for them. Of course, some of these roles are even changing, and that's causing a lot of problems in certain countries where these aging parents don't have somebody to care for them and they don't have the money to care for themselves. Well, we've talked about how these norms and roles can differ from culture to culture. We should once again define what a culture is. So it's a program of shared rules that govern the behavior of the members of that community or society. So these individuals share a set of values, beliefs, and attitudes across that community. Now, we started off talking about this idea of self-presentation. And so one place where we do a lot of self-presentation is on social media. We put our best lives forward on social media for all to see. Many critique social media for this. It isn't the real us. Well, I personally use social media just to post pictures and remind myself to have memories pop up later on. I've seen my daughter go throughout high school, going places with their friends, and they'll take hundreds of pictures and then they post just the best couple ones, right? To not give everybody the real full idea of what happened when they were out, but just to show them the best parts of what they did. And I know we've all heard, the issues with social media for, younger adolescents. It can really be problematic. But here's some statistics. So the positive aspects, 81% of teens and tweens say that they feel more connected to their friends because of social media. 69% think that it helps teens interact with a more diverse group of people. And 68% feel as if they have people who will support them through tough times. The negative is 45% feel overwhelmed by all the drama there. There can be a lot of drama, right? There's a lot of comparison. That we're doing that self-presentation. We want to put our best self forward on social media. And there's pressure to do that. I remember a couple semesters ago, it was a couple years ago, some students said that if a picture they posted on social media didn't get a like within like a minute or something like that, that they had to take it down. So 43% feel pressure to only post content that makes them look good to others. That's that self-presentation. And 37% feel pressure to post content that will get a lot of likes and comments. So that's what I was just talking about, is that idea that, and whenever you see those likes, that's giving you that dopamine rush too, right? And so that's where social media can be addicting. So next time you go to post on social media, think about this idea of the social roles and the norms and that self-presentation aspect of it.